Hey everybody, welcome back to the Prep series. This is our series about how we're preparing our home to run smoothly, especially if you're going to be homeschooling because you want everything else to be able to get done even though you're homeschooling. So these are the things I put in place before I even start planning my homeschool curriculum or what we're going to be doing this year. So today is focus number 4, personal growth. Think about it. Have you ever felt stuck? I have been there. I have been there many times where it just feels like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, but it doesn't feel like I'm going anywhere. It's like this treadmill. Or even worse, the treadmill stopped. That's the worst feeling. So this is when it's time to push yourself either harder or you've been going the wrong direction and you need to regroup and think about what it is you really want. Before you even start on personal growth, you have to think about what your vision is really for your life, for your family's life, your mission, what you feel like you're supposed to be doing. These are the things that are important to you, that you feel like you need to help people in this area, or you feel like you need to go for these goals. This is the kind of growth we're talking about. And if you're not sure what those things are, maybe it's time to just start growing, learning more, experiencing more until you kind of feel that hook, like, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So before you even start on the growth, find it out what your vision, what you want, what those goals are, so that you can align your personal growth to reach those goals. Otherwise, you're just growing and you're not even getting to where you wanted to go in the end. So the first category that we'll talk about is the one where you feel like, okay, I need to learn the stuff first before I start doing it. This is our intellectual category. In our intellectual category, we're learning about it. This is where we start getting books and videos and maybe a coach that will help us learn about whatever it is, whatever our goals are that we want to learn about. I always suggest that even if you don't have something specific that you're actually growing towards, that you're always growing intellectually. Learn new things. It can just be things that you're curious about, things you have questions about. Just seek knowledge. And of course, real knowledge, real wisdom comes from doing things. So it's even better if you can put those things into action once you learn them. But that's the category of intellectual growth. You want to constantly be learning new things, things that you just are curious about, things you want to know about, but definitely things that will help you reach those goals that you put for yourself. And then we also want to think about, after we've done all that learning, we want to have a center. We want to have the category of spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is that center you feel when you connect with your creator. Now, some people like me believe in a God, believe God is a creator of all things. Some people are more science-based, and that's fine too. Connect with what you believe created the world, created you, and also other creations around you. You're going to be amazed at what you can learn just by observing creation and how much it centers you. Because when you come into contact with what created you, it helps you know yourself even better. And creating that time, set aside those habits to consistently do that is what is really going to make you feel centered. You know, you can be doing all these things all over, but you're going to get off balance if you don't even really know who you are, where you came from, why you're doing what you are doing, and also listening to that creative voice that is telling you the path that you should take, that is teaching you the lessons you need to know. And I will do this with my practices. I have daily practices of, I believe in God, so I do my scripture reading, I have my prayer, I have my learning time where I listen to positive religious content, but also I have time set aside to be in nature, to be around God's creations, to notice patterns, to notice lessons that can be taught through that, but also to connect with that and feel connected better to myself. So that's what I mean when I talk about spiritual practices and spiritual growth. The next one is, we've talked about intellectual and spiritual, and now we're going to talk about what I call service social. Now this one doubles up because it is great when you make your social goals your service goals, and your service goals your social goals. And actually they go hand in hand anyway, because when you do service, you're doing it for other people or with other people or both. And so it grows your social goals as well. But the way I like to do it is lead with service, right? Think about something that you can do for someone, with someone, to make them happier. And this will help you feel socially connected, which is something that you need as well, but it's also lifting another person. It's not just for fun or just for social interaction. It's actually helping someone. And that's what we like to focus on as a family. Of course, we have times where we just plan things just to have fun with people that we just have fun with, right? But we also, as a family, also, this is so important, especially now with current events. Think about diversity, okay? I know for our family, we've always made it a point that yes, we have fun times with fun people that we enjoy, that are just easy to have fun with. But we also set aside time to either do service with or for, or a fun event with people that are different from us, or that we think are different from us. And I'm going to tell you why. Because usually our first judgment is not really what people are. Think about when people tell you what they thought about you before they got to know you. It's usually very far from the truth, or only a little small part of you, right? So we set aside time, we look around and say, we need to get to know these people better, because either we don't get along with them that well, or, well, we don't have that happen very often, but maybe we just don't feel connected to them at all, and we want to get to know them better, or serve them better, or help them more. Or we feel like they have a misunderstanding that's happened, or they just need a little bit of help, something like that. Someone we feel like we have a lot of differences with, we plan either a service to do with or for them, or a fun thing to do with them. And I can tell you, always, 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 by the end of that, we always find out that we have way more in common with those people than we do differences. And this has helped us to not only appreciate humanity in general and see the good in people, but it's also helped us grow in so many ways and help us not be so prejudiced in our thinking, to really be more open-minded. And this has helped our kids a ton too as well. So that's our service social category. The next one we need to think about is our physical growth, right? Now, we talked a little bit about this in self-care, about how we need to think about our exercise and diet and stress management and sleep. And these things are things you can constantly set goals for. But one thing I want to point out, and you probably noticed this, is physical life is so interrelated. Oh my goodness, so interrelated. Have you ever noticed that when you don't get a good night's sleep, that you don't want to eat well? That when you don't manage your stress well, you don't want to exercise? These things, one feeds into the next. So what I always do, if I just feel like my physical growth is totally off track, then what I'll do is I will take the worst one first. If I'm really not sleeping well at all, I will start with that. I'll start focusing more on my sleep. And as I feel better because I'm getting more sleep, then I can focus more on my diet. And then as my diet improves, I feel even better and I can focus more on my exercise. Or I could start with any of those. Sometimes I'll find myself, maybe I got sick and I got out of the habit of exercising. And so then my life kind of goes downhill from there. And so I will start back to exercising, which makes me feel so much better. And then I can manage my stress better. And because I can manage my stress better, I feel like I can deal with working on my diet more. Because I'm working on my diet more, I digest better, I feel better, I sleep better. You know, everything. It's just so interrelated. So if you just feel like everything's a mess, start with the worst first, and everything else, you'll feel better and better and better and better and work up towards it. That is in terms of physical growth. The next one I want to talk about is financial growth. Now, some people get a little scared when you mention the word money or finances because there's a lot of negative information out there about it. And people tend to think that it's stigmas, right? You think that rich people are mean people or selfish people or workaholics or whatever. But I'm not necessarily talking about getting rich. I'm talking about managing your finances, taking care of what you have. We talked about this a little bit with stewardships. These are blessings. We want to be a good steward and take care of what we have and manage that well. That means we might have to educate ourselves a little bit. We will definitely have to put in practices where we can keep track of things and manage things and know where everything's going and how to invest and so on and so forth. But also, I really do believe that people should strive to get to the point where they are not independently wealthy necessarily, but where they don't have to work from paycheck to paycheck all the time, that they can continue to improve their financial situation. Now, the reason I say I think that everybody should try for this is because you can help so many more people when you have more resources, including financial resources, right? You can definitely help people even if you have nothing, but you can do more when you have more, right? So that's why I say that. But definitely, you will not get more if you're not managing what you have, right? So start with management and then work on growing. Growing, that's what this is about. This is about growth. And sometimes it just needs a little bit of education, and sometimes it needs those habits and practices. So those are the 5 areas. We have the financial and the physical and the service social and the spiritual and the intellectual. We want to work on those 5 areas of growth. But I would say a subcategory of that is talents. Look at what you're already kind of good at, or you have a predisposition for, you kind of drawn towards that, and make sure that you are growing in the things that you have already kind of been given a talent for, because that's part of who you are, right? And it's going to make you feel even better. You're growing on things that you've already been given as a gift. So take advantage of those gifts. And it might be that you have a gift in intellectual areas of your life. You might have a gift in physical. You might have a gift in social. You might even have a gift in financial. But look at yourself. If you don't know, talk to your friends and family and find out, hey, what am I good at? Or what am I kind of drawn towards? What do you see that I could be good at? And make sure that you're focusing on creating habits that you can constantly grow in those areas. Now, this growth is going to make you feel like you're making progress, but it's also going to make you more productive because you will know more, you'll be better educated, you'll be able to do more because your physical self is at its optimum. You will be able to get the help you need and also be able to contribute more because you have a service social growth that's going on. And you will also be able to contribute more financially because you have that growth mindset in your financial resources. And also this whole time that you're giving and growing, you will feel centered because you have those spiritual practices in place and you have constant spiritual growth that's going on. So this is what it's about. It helps you succeed and it helps you be happy while you're doing it. And I want that for you. I want that for everyone. Guys, I hope this is helping you. I hope you have found something in this series that you're loving. I'm going to link all the other ones down below so that you can check out the whole series. And tomorrow's our last focus. Find out tomorrow what it is. Surprise, surprise. And stay tuned. If you haven't got my homeschool quick start guide, it's also linked down below that will give you a step-by-step perfect guide for what you need to get your homeschool started on the right track. And stay tuned to my blog so that you can get the course that's coming out soon for this whole enchilada of how to get your life in flow. So we'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you tomorrow with focus number 5. Bye.